I must have got kicked off. So I do use like this rap song I found on. It's not like a rap song, but when we're talking about irregular verbs, I do use like this. You don't need to be a good singer to actually check it out. So I'll share that with you. Let me get it back to where it was. And it's on YouTube. Anyone can find it. Anyone can like check it out. It's on YouTube. It's called Irregular Verbs. And it goes from the base form to the past tense form, or the past simple form to the past participle. So irregular verbs are just like regular verbs too. They have a base form, which is like a present form, and then a past, and then a past participle form. All right.
Yeah.
You can't hear that, can you?
Yeah.
Can you hear that? Let me see if I can share my screen real quick. I think you need to enable sharing.
I have just enabled it.
Okay. It says host disabled participant sharing.
Yeah, I have just done it.
Oh,
I have just done it.
Oh, okay. So I got to share my sound too. And I can't take credit for this, but it's something that's catchy, and I found it on the internet like years ago. And my kids, they don't like to be they don't like to jump out and be like singing, you know what I mean? Because they're kind of like too cool to sing sometimes. So it's something that it doesn't necessarily need you to be a great singer. But there's 80 forms of the verbs, so check them out.
Do, did, done. Go, went, gone. Buy, bought, bought. Think, thought. See, saw, seen. Be, was, been. Write, wrote, written. Drive, drove, driven. Seek, sought, sought. Catch, caught. Eat, ate, eaten. Beat, beaten. Freeze, froze, frozen. Choose, chose, chosen. Grow, grew, grown. Know, knew, known. Take, took, taken. Shake, shook, shaken. Say, said. Read, read. Ring, rang.
I told you red is one of those tricky ones. You saw that? It was read, read, and they all look the same. What do we notice about and I'm going to stop share. What do we notice about these past tense irregular verbs? All three tenses. What do we notice? Some of them have what?
Yeah, students, do you have any answers for this question?
So, for instance, the word know, knew, known has three tenses,
Yeah.
right? Read, read. Really, two of them are basically the same word. So, what do we notice? That some of them have how many different versions of the word?
Yeah. Anybody can answer to this question. San Diego, will you please ask the question one more time?
She has a question in the box.
You ask the same question again one more time.
Okay, so when we looked at that song and we're listening to it, some words had how many different versions of the word? Like how many different tenses?
Yeah, it's very easy now. How many different sounds or how many different verbs you can see, and each one is different from another. So how many different versions are there? So Kusma or Navesai, can you answer this question? Navesai,
For
how
instance,
many?
yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Most of them
yeah,
had
please go ahead.
most of them had two, right? Most of them had two different pronunciations, and we'll say that the sounds of the word. Some of them had how many?
Navesai, can you answer this question? Some of them actually, yeah. How many? Some of them actually, out of the three, two are similar, but some of them are. How different they are? Navisai, can you answer this question?
And I'll give you a, like I said, I'll give you a write,
Example.
wrote, written. How many different ways can I say that word?
How many different? Yes, Navya, can you answer? What's the how many? Maybe I think they didn't catch the point. They didn't catch the point. So you can see that there are three different versions of there. Three different versions. Sing, sang,
Sing, sang, sung. There you go. There's another. Sing, sang, read. I'm sorry. Write, wrote, written. Those are three. We have three different ways you can pronounce some of these irregular verbs, which means your teacher had a hard job because it wasn't just one way to write the word. Some of them had three different ways to write and to pronunciate them. So that is a difficult task. But they are, it's the nuances of the English language that unfortunately there is not much that you could do but memorize them. Especially when you have words like go and went. Those things don't even sound alike. They're not even spelled alike. So that could be a difficult mountain to climb when it comes to the English language. But yeah, irregular verbs can be somewhat difficult. They can be very difficult. Let me see if I have something I could pull out. We could just practice on. I think I have something we could practice on. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna pull up what I just had before I just took it out. Here we go. Give me 1 second. So, and then I'm going to share my screen in 1 second. Oh, this is taking a little bit of time. All right, so let me see if I can share my screen and make this a little bit bigger. And we could practice some of this. It says a disabled screen sharing.
Yeah, I have just enabled it.
There we go. Just a couple questions here, and you could just say them out loud, right? So these are kind of simple. Anybody want to take the first one? Weston sit on the bench waiting for the school bus. Now let's say this is past tense. Past tense. These are all past tense. What are we changing here? What are we changing here? What word am I going to change?
Yeah, students respond because there is a one word which is underlined in every sentence. So
Yep.
you need to change the word.
We need to change the underline. That's the present tense. We need to make it past tense. Past tense. It's going to be regular.
Students, one has to respond. Navisa, you
Sad.
respond first. Yes, please.
Sat.
Sat.
Yes, please.
Nice.
Yes, that's
For the bus.
yeah. Next, I think one has to respond. One has to respond for the next example. I think you are capable of doing that.
Came.
Yes, please. One of you.
Came. Came.
Came. There we go. Jen came to my house to help me pack. How about the next one?
Yeah. What about next one?
Build.
Build. Yes. Built. Say it again.
Say again. One more
Built.
time.
Built with a T.
Built.
Spelling. Spell the word.
Tree.
Built.
Yes. Yes. Got it. Built a tree house with his dad. Good. And that's a tricky one because it looks exactly like build, and it's almost, especially when we talk about pronunciating, right? D and T are very similar when we use our tongue to pronounce them, right? In the English language. Build is a soft tip, right? It's a soft, real quick tip. You touch your tongue to your teeth real quick. But built, more of your tongue is hitting your teeth. So it's difficult for those, like I said, who are trying to pronunciate. Pronunciation is very difficult in the English language because D and T's are kind of said they're pronounced the same. It's just a little bit less of a nuance, more of a T sound, more of a heavy tongue. How about the last one? Did Steve made the cookie? So I'm sorry. Now this is a tricky one.
There is something wrong. There is something wrong with the fourth sentence. And can anybody correct it? So in order to make it interrogate, you have to make some changes quickly. Quick changes are needed. Yes, anybody?
Did Steve make the cookie set?
How do you spell it?
M-A-K-E.
Say it again.
M-A-K-E.
M-A-K-E. Yep. The cookies yet. And that one, what did we do different to that one than we did to the other ones? Because the other ones we were going from regular tense, present tense, into past tense. The last one, what did we do? We went from what tense? Where did we go? Because the other ones we went from present to past. This one we did what?
This one, Navya, and what did we actually? What did you do actually? Did you change from past to present or present to past? What exactly did you do?
It is interrogative form.
Interrogative form, okay, that's okay. And how did you change it from past to present or present to past? Can you explain? Because in the earlier we have done 3 examples. We simply did present to past, but in this example, fourth one, and we did a bit different. In what way it is different from the other 3?
Past to present, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, San Diego.
Yes, these went past the present, and this one went past to present, and these went present to past. Good, awesome, very, very good job. Really, let me get out of this real quick. Sorry. Let me close this. Really, you've done a great job in understanding and really memorizing these because it's difficult. It's very difficult to memorize these. I have a question to you folks. How do you think this is going to help you? How do you think this is going to help you knowing this information? We sit here and we talk about grammar, right? We talk about grammar as a way to perfect writing, right? But what's the grand scheme of writing? Like, why do we need to write using good grammar, using something that is, going to help? Why is that going to help us? Can someone answer that to me? Because this goes beyond just working grammar, right? Because grammar, let's be honest, and Mr. Krishna can tell you, there are programs on the computer that'll do this for you, right? But
Yeah.
why do you need to learn this?
Yeah. Can anybody answer to this question? Wonderful question, I think. Why should we learn the grammar? What is the basic idea? What is the basic purpose? What is the basic aim? Am I right, Santiago?
Yes, you're perfect. Because I'll tell you one thing, especially irregular tense, your computer can't tell you the difference between RED and READ.
Yes.
All right? Red and red can't tell you the difference. They're both spelled correctly. So why do you need to know this?
Anybody? Smart girls like Niraja, Vashta, Navisai, Rohita. Yes. Can anybody answer? Can this question? Why should we learn? Yeah. I think they are.
To speak English correctly.
For speaking, that's one goal, right? Because unfortunately, right, when you're speaking, there is no grammar check. When you speak, there isn't something in the back of you that checks you and corrects you while you're speaking, right? And speaking is very powerful. And I wanted to tell your teacher, at first we were talking about lesson, and one of the things I wanted to talk about was persuasive writing, right? So persuasive writing, and we'll get into this maybe another lesson sometime down the road, but persuasive writing is a very powerful type of writing. Correct grammar makes you sound confident in your speaking.
Absolutely.
And people tend to follow confident people. Right? So it's going to build your confidence. It's going to make you sound very elegant and intelligent. Why else? Especially in writing. Why else do we need to know proper grammar? You get a job, right? Your boss emails you something. You have to respond. Why does perfect grammar or good grammar, why do you need to learn that?
Yeah. Can anybody answer to this question? Niraja or Vashta? So after getting maybe after completion of your studies, when you get a job, I think that too a software job, maybe a white collar job where you need to prepare a letter and add any email. You need. I think you need to master some certain techniques in preparing the email. So if you don't have a good idea about the basic grammar, and you won't be any comfortable. I think you tend to make so many mistakes.
Absolutely.
You tend to make so many mistakes that definitely carry a bad impression, a wrong impression on you. So you won't be a successful person, maybe. So because of your grammar, it costs you a lot. So when you learn a grammar, and so you have to learn it perfectly. So it definitely takes your name, your impression. I think your boss get a good impression on you if your preparation, your presentation is up to the mark. So this is where I think your learning the grammar is very important at this level. Yeah, Santiago, go ahead.
And yeah, of course. And then creatively, anyone who's interested in writing creatively a story, the way that you communicate it so that people understand it, you have to be thorough in your communication, confident in your communication, and clear so that people understand what you're trying to say, so they can feel the emotion and empathize. Some of you who are going to write some very emotional English pieces, some very powerful English pieces, so that you can communicate clearly with your audience so they can enjoy what you're trying to say. Because writing is not just for a job, right? It can also be a language is an art form. And it could be very, very artistic and beautiful. But it's very important for us to understand the basics of grammar, so at the very least we can convey our art and our message through language. I'm a big music guy. I like to play music and I like to write lyrics. And sometimes it's difficult to use correct grammar. But if you know the basics, you can get your message across. And I just want to know, grammar. I want you to know grammar is in every form of written language. I'm sure you can teach me a whole lesson on Indian grammar and Indian language, which I would love to partake in if you would like one day. And yes, so I mean, grammar is very important. Think about it as if for those of you who are mathematics, right? Mathematic fans, grammar is your basic skills, like your basic addition facts, but it's for writing, okay? It's basically the same thing that we learn how to do multiplication facts and division facts. That is your grammar for writing.
So, San Diego, do you have anything to say? Because we are coming to the end of this session. So it's already 7 o'clock. We have started the session all the way from 6 o'clock, and it has been 1 hour since we started the session. So,
Yeah, sounds
would
good.
you mind? Yeah, would you mind giving a final message to my students? Would you
Yes,
like to give a
absolutely.
final?
Listen, this isn't always glamour and glitz writing, right? When you're learning the basics of writing, it's not always fireworks, it's not always a fun thing. What is fun about writing is what you can create once you know what you're doing. So these creative pieces, once you put the pieces of this puzzle together and you start to express yourself using poetry, using narrative writing, that is the fun part. So continue to work hard and come up with some beautiful material. I'd love to read it one day.
Sure. Thank you so much, San Diego, for sparing your valuable time. That was Sunday, very busy day.
Yeah.
I know that, but you have made your way to all the way from America to India for the sake of my students. So we are so thankful to you for your patience and your time and great presentation and moreover. We really enjoyed.
Thank you.
We really enjoyed it.
You have a great, great, great day.
So thank you so much, and we will see if there is any possibility to connect with you again one more time and with some other topic.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Whenever you just said, let me know. We know that this time works for both of us, so just let me know.
So thank you so much, students.
Sounds good.
Say bye to San Diego because he has done a marvelous job for us.
Bye, sir.
Thank you.
Sir.
Thank you so much for your time.
At least for
Bye, sir.
Yes, sir.
Bye, sir.
last few
Bye.
videos on. Turn your videos on at least. Last few turn your videos on.
నేను చెప్తాను
Turn your videos.
Bye, sir.
బాయ్ సార్
Of
ఇప్పుడు నా
course.
నెక్స్ట్ క్లాస్
Have a good day, guys, or the rest of your evening.
నువ్వు మాట్లాడుతున్నావా నువ్వు మాట్లాడు